The mystery of Abigail Hernandez, the 14-year-old who disappeared on her way home from school, only to suddenly reappear 9 months later. Today, the man accused of kidnapping her went in front of a judge with Abigail right there in the courtroom staring him down. As we come on the air tonight, so many lingering questions looming over this strange case. Who is the alleged kidnapper? Why would he take Abigail? And how did she finally escape? ABC's Ryan Smith reports in tonight from New Hampshire.
15-year-old Abigail Hernandez appeared in public today for the first time since disappearing 9 months ago.
All right.
She sat poised and calm next to her mother while the man suspected of kidnapping her was haggard, cuffed and shackled, facing felony kidnapping charges that could bring years in prison. The only words spoken by suspect Nathaniel Kibby at his arraignment were to the judge.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Leaving the mystery and questions about what Abby endured over the last 9 months.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
Nope.
And how she managed to find her way home unanswered. It all began last October 9th when then 14-year-old Abby disappeared while walking home from school in Conway, New Hampshire.
What really ticked me off at the very beginning when Abby went missing is she originally was designated a runaway.
But everything changed when a letter from Abby was sent to her mother in November.
It was really like numbing for the first maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then I received a letter and it was like exhilarating.
Investigators had never disclosed the contents of the letter, but they were convinced Abigail was in grave danger.
Someone may now be manipulating her, and her safety is still absolutely in question.
Meanwhile, 30 miles away in Gorham, New Hampshire, a 34-year-old man named Nathaniel Kibby was quietly living in a trailer.
I always knew he was a little out of whack, but I never knew he was capable of something like this.
What did you hear?
I heard that he's kind of creepy, not to really go by his house at night by myself.
According to court records, Kibby has had at least a dozen run-ins with the law, including 10 juvenile misdemeanors and guilty pleas to marijuana, assault, and trespass charges.
He has a criminal history, including an incident that happened way back when he was in high school.
In fact, in March, he was in the middle of a dispute and actually asked the police to come to his trailer to remove his guns. This was during the time he is alleged to have been holding Abby Hernandez prisoner. This police report, also obtained by ABC News, says back then they took possession of multiple guns from the property. During those long months, Abby's family and community never stopped looking for her.
We investigated every tip, every lead, wherever it took us.
Or for the person who had taken her.
You know, I'm always amazed when people ask me, what's the motivation for a child kidnapping? As if there's a good motive. Obviously, you don't take a child away from her mother for a good reason.
But then finally, 10 days ago, Abby Hernandez came home. Exactly how is still a mystery. Did she escape? Was she released?
Very often when a kidnapped victim is held for a lengthy period of time, weeks, months, the kidnapper begins to soften toward the victim and give them freedoms as time goes by. I expect we will learn that because of freedoms given to then 14-year-old Abby Hernandez, she managed to escape.
On the website Bring Abby Home, the family released this statement. Abby is safely home with her mom and sister. Thank you to everyone who has shared flyers and offered help and support. But even with Abigail home, there are still more questions than answers. Where has she been, and who had taken her? After Abby came home, police released this sketch looking for clues to a suspect.
Once you arrest somebody, it can make it more difficult to conduct some interviews, to seize some evidence. And so if you maximize that time, then your odds of building a much tighter case with more evidence is greater because you did wait to arrest him.
9 days after Abby came home, Kibby was arrested for felony kidnapping.
We learned on Sunday night that there was sufficient information at that time to seek and obtain an arrest warrant and search warrants. The SWAT team was utilized. I think it was probably about 2 o'clock in the morning when the SWAT team first arrived, and they planned through the night.
Neighbors were shocked.
I haven't noticed anything unusual. I would hope that she can't be that close and nobody knew it.
That neighborhood is now a crime scene. This is about 20 yards away from the residence of Nathaniel Kibby, the man that authorities believe held Abigail Hernandez against her will. You see, we're blocked off by police tape, and right over there, there's more police tape around his residence. They're still investigating what really happened on that property.
Law enforcement is trying to fill in a timeline from the moment that Abby disappeared until she reappeared. They'll take forensic swabs, samples, fingerprints, obviously looking for Abby's DNA, the details of each criminal element they're trying to prove. And my guess is they're going to find additional crimes to charge him with.
In court today, a poised and confident-looking Abby watched as Kibby was charged in her kidnapping. During the proceedings, Kibby's attorneys asked the judge to unseal the indictment.
So I'm not sure, as a matter of constitutionally defending Nate, that I could even explain to him what he's being charged with, because I don't know.
I find it very intriguing that Kibby's defense lawyer says he cannot explain to his client what he's charged with. Well, I can do that in case they're watching tonight. Right now, he is charged with kidnapping Class B, as in brother. It carries about 7 years. There's a range, but about 7 years behind bars. It is a felony.
It will take months to unravel all the mysteries around Abby Hernandez's disappearance, but tonight, friends of the Hernandez family happy her alleged captor is behind bars.
I think the biggest thing is just a sense of relief that he's not out there anymore.
For Nightline, I'm Ryan Smith in Conway, New Hampshire.